picked 6 players that I thought both had a great league campaign and just to look forward to them for the future. So we've obviously a huge campaign coming up. It's not just a 1 game and out anymore. These guys will all get 4 or 5 games in the championship. So we started with Neil McManus, Joe. 13 points in the league versus Watford. Like, this guy is at the end of his career. 1-2 versus Kilkenny, only lost by 3 points. 2-7 versus Dublin. They only lost by 4 points to Dublin that day, and 1-7 versus Laois. Like, Neil McManus has been doing it since I was, hurling. I hurled shinty with Neil McManus. I think he's such a role model for Ulster hurling. He's such a role model for Antrim. He always speaks his mind in the papers, in the media, but not his own agenda, to trying to promote hurling up the north, trying to promote hurling in Antrim. And like, you go to any of these counties where it is difficult, like for good clubs up in Antrim and the north and in Down and Derry, for them to play good challenge games, a lot of time they have to come down south, drive 2 or 3 hours, to get good club games, get good county games. And I just say hats off to Neil McManus. He's producing it for years upon years. And just for not what he's doing on the field, he's also doing it off the field. And a lot of the time, someone might be doing great work off the field and it might start getting to him. But this guy, he's able to produce when he gets on the pitch. So I think, Antrim, they had a great league campaign, albeit, they were beaten by Laois to go down into the relegation final, but a good win in the relegation final. But Neil McManus, watch out for him in the Joe McDonagh Cup. A brilliant competition. Finally, we'll head in Croke Park, and it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in the Joe McDonagh.
Okay, can't argue with that one. Who's next?
Yeah, Mikey Butler then from Kilkenny, cornerback. We're looking for a man marker. When you play Watford, to mark Dazzy Hutchinson, when you play Cork, to mark Horgan maybe, or Alan Connolly, just to mark the marquee forwards on the opposition team. If you're playing Limerick, to mark Elan. Mikey Butler, playing with him when I was on the Kilkenny panel, he was the kit man. he was helping out Racker Cody, so he was kind of apprentice kit man, if you like. And who thought that he'd be your future cornerback for Kilkenny, and by all accounts in the Loughlin's Club, this guy, since he was 10 years of age, lives and dies in the hurling field. Any day you go up, he's pucking the ball, he's joined in with games, and since he was a young man, he's had a fantastic campaign for Loughlin's last year, and he's backing it up in Kilkenny. I didn't think that he would have the pace for that full back line in there, but he's after blowing my mind, the speed of him inside in the full back line. No one seems to be able to get away from him. Cornerback is one of the toughest positions in the inter-county game at the moment, because the ball coming in is so beautiful, and he's definitely doing well so far. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Ulster Championship, Joe. Yeah,
because the last time we touched on him, because he has had a very good campaign, Will O'Callaghan, our colleague here at Off the Ball, sent me a photo of young Mikey Butler as a kit man, and he's standing on the field and he's got like 2 big things of Lucasade. And so I don't know, was he a bit young to be a kit man? Like, what's the deal with this lad hanging around the team?
If you're good enough, you're old enough, Joe.
All right, I won't ask questions. It's worked out for him. He's doing it now, which is that's an amazing story. We'll stick that photo up at some stage. So that's 2. Give us another couple.
Yeah, Patrick Curran. So Patrick Curran is 25 or 26. As I mentioned earlier, he scored 1-7 in the minor All-Ireland final for Waterford when they won it. He scored 1-9 in the under-21 All-Ireland final, which they won. This guy, like, on the big days, he has proved he can do it. It's after taking him an extra few years to make it, but he is shown now, as part of the team, what he can do. And I thought he's had a brilliant, not just in the final, he's had a brilliant campaign up to that. He can step in and take frees if they need a free taker. If Stephen Bennett was to get injured, which has happened to him already in the campaign, he can step in and take the frees. But I always thought a team that wins a championship, whether it's a county final or an All-Ireland, Joe, to have these lads around either corner forwards or wing forwards, you don't see them in the game score or in the game too much. So they won't go around with 15, 20 possessions. But when you look at the score sheet after the game, they might have 3 points scored, 1-2. And in many games, especially the tight games that can turn your season, you win it be a point or 2. These guys are worth their weight in gold. So I think the encouragement and the, bringing Patrick Curran to the centre of this team has been a huge success story of this league campaign for Watford. And he has proved, and you only find with young fellas in the big games, and you can only find out then if they have it or not. And every big day he seems to be able to do it. So I think that has been a huge positive for Watford. They've found a new marquee player that can step in and step out when needed. And Patrick Curran is one to watch in the Munster Championship.
Okay, so where are we going next?
So last two then, Cork and Wexford, Kieran Joyce. So Kieran Joyce, although he was under pressure under 1 or 2 high balls the weekend, I thought he's a fantastic campaign. I would leave him out in the wing. Yeah, he's only 20 years of age, Castlemartyr, won 2 under-21 All-Irelands, he's won 2 intermediate championships. This guy has done it again. That's such a young man, but he's fast, he's aggressive, just what Cork need. But with youngsters, I like to see teams built around the older guys. So I'd rather see more experienced guys in the, even in the cornerback maybe position for this Cork team especially. And I'd like to see him out in the wing, just doing his stuff. 1 or 2 goals the other day, but I wouldn't worry about it. It wasn't his fault. I think encourage him, keep him going. I think he's going to be a bright prospect. He was outstanding against Kilkenny in the semi-final and for much of the other league games. So Kieran Joyce for Cork, red helmet wing back. I think fantastic future ahead of him. And last then Rory O'Connor from Wexford. Like I was looking at his scores over the league campaign. Like he's 23, 24, and I won a Leinster Champ 2019, but he scored 112 against Cork, 1-7 from play. He scored 5 points against Galway, 4 points from play, and he scored 1-4 from play against Clare. So this guy, and that goal against Clare was a phenomenal goal. He had a lot of work to do, but did it. So he has lit up nearly one of the probably players of the league. And I think for Wexford, with Dardar, gone back to a more straightforward, traditional type game, more kind of a hybrid, but you'll be left up there on your own. And for likes of him and Conor MacDonald, there's definitely an exciting Leinster Championship awaiting for them, because they're not going to be up against 3 or 4 extra defenders. In general, if they get the ball up in the right place, it'll be one-on-one, and he should flourish in that kind of a role.